We're going to look at three post-war Spencer rifles. The first being a model 1865 carbine chambered for the 5650 rimfire. This carbine is fitted with the Stabler magazine cutoff, which allows the gun to be used as a single-shot weapon, but with the flick of a lever releases the 7 rounds in the magazine. This new model rifle fired the 5652 rimfire cartridge, which was interchangeable with the 5650, only differing with a slightly shorter case and less of a bullet crimp. The new model also featured a wide cartridge guide fitted with the Spencer magazine cutoff, which mechanically limited breech block travel so the rifle could be used as a single-shot weapon if desired. This new model was converted to a sporting rifle with the addition of a 26-inch octagon barrel, a Spencer set trigger, and a wooden cleaning rod fitted beneath the barrel. It is chambered for the 5646 rimfire, one of the first bottleneck cartridges. Spencer rimfire cartridge designations have always been a mystery to the modern shooter. Since the self-contained metallic cartridge was a new technology, Spencer could name it whatever he pleased. The first number designates the diameter of the base of the shell and the second the mouth. So the 5656 was essentially a straight case, and the 5646 would be 0.56 of an inch at the base and 0.46 at the mouth of the bottleneck. New ideas came forth to carry the new metallic cartridges in the field. Some as simple as a drilled wooden block in a leather case, and others as innovative as Blakely's Quick Loader, which could carry 6 to 13 10 tubes preloaded with 7 Spencer rounds. In 2017, if you want to shoot a Spencer, you have 2 options. However, your best option is to buy a modern-made copy. The other option is to buy a centerfire breech block replacement, and that just entails removing 2 screws. Move this screw, pull out the action, just remove this screw, pull out the upper breech block, rimfire version, take your centerfire breech block replacement, drop it in, just replace that screw. The last thing you have to do is replace the original rimfire cartridge follower that's kind of pointy with a centerfire follower that has a flatter rebated surface, so there's no contact with the primer, and that just entails removing this one screw. Spencer 7-shot lever-action repeating rifle was invented by Christopher Spencer at the onset of the Civil War. You would think such an innovative weapon with unheard-of firepower would be well received by the Army. But such was not the case. Chief of Ordnance James Ripley was faced with a weapons shortage, with a good deal of his arsenals in southern states and lost to the Confederacy. He was determined to get sufficient numbers of tried-and-true muzzleloaders to the troops in the field, and was not interested in experimental weapons using experimental ammunition. Eventually, Ripley's unbending opposition to the breechloader brought about his forced retirement. According to popular legend, President Abraham Lincoln personally intervened in the procurement of Spencer rifles after test firing one near the White House in August of 1863. A good story, but at that time 7,500 Spencers had already been received by the Army. In June of 1863, Colonel Wilder's mounted infantry were sent forward to open Hoover's Gap, 50 miles northwest of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Armed with their new Spencers, which Wilder had to finance himself, the Confederates were met with such firepower they mistakenly believed they were outnumbered and fell back. Wilder's Lightning Brigade would go down in history as the first military unit to fight and win a major battle with repeating rifles. Soon after Hoover's Gap, the Spencer became the most sought-after weapon of the war. On the pivotal third day of the Battle of Gettysburg, the boy general George Armstrong Custer and his Michigan Cavalry Brigade, armed with their new Spencer repeaters, turned back a superior force of Jeb Stuart's Invincibles who were trying to outflank the Union Army. Years later, Custer was assigned to Kansas to fight Indians. He was armed with the model 1865 Spencer carbine. In 1867, Custer wrote about hunting buffalo on the plains. My handguns only seemed to increase the buffalo's speed. I concluded to discard the use of my revolvers and trust my Spencer carbine. By the time of the Battle of the Little Bighorn, the 7th Cavalry had been rearmed with the new Springfield Model 1873 single-shot carbine. But the Sioux and Cheyenne made good use of their Spencer repeaters. Incorporated in 1862 with a few handmade prototypes, the Spencer Repeating Rifle Company grew to be one of America's largest private armories. By 1868, with no new government contracts and the design limitations of the Spencer Action unable to accept the new, more powerful centerfire cartridges, the company failed. The Spencer Repeating Rifle Company was no more.